What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival 2025. This is episode number 22, and last episode, right at the end, we had a bit of a kerfuffle with the Falcon clanging into the Kangaroo, and as a result, we have this. This is the Kangaroo, where a huge chunk of it has been removed by the Falcon, and the Falcon is nowhere to be seen. Actually, that's a lie. There is some Falcon left over right there. That's a little, that right there is probably the biggest piece of Falcon left over that we have. There's, I know a little chunk fell off over there somewhere, but I'm not gonna go and collect that. So in this episode, what we wanna do is, well, we're gonna fix this up hopefully at some point, or maybe we're gonna ignore this, I don't know. Because the main point of this episode is to build the elevator. Finally, we're gonna get this elevator right here built up. And I've decided that I want two elevators actually. So we're gonna have one elevator that's gonna go all the way down here, all the way up to here, which is gonna be a massive elevator, probably really, really big. So we're gonna have that elevator, and we're also going to have a second elevator, which is going to only go from here, basically, up to this level right here. And that elevator is gonna be a bit larger, because that's gonna be an elevator meant to take cars from the bottom level up to the bridge level. Because the bridge level here, we have this bridge where you can drive across and stuff like that, whereas the bottom level is the level where, if you see over here, it's going to be kind of at this level actually, and you can kind of drive to it. Actually, this level's still kind of above the mountain. I wonder if at some point we want to make an even lower level that goes all the way down to here. I think that would make more sense, wouldn't it? I don't know. Maybe we won't work on the second elevator in this episode. We'll only work on the first elevator, and then eventually maybe we'll make like a thing that goes here. I mean, that's really, really low. That's the problem. Okay, no, you know what? We're gonna leave well enough alone, because otherwise we're gonna be at this forever, making the elevator deeper and deeper. But for now, we're only gonna do, or not for now, for forever. We're committing to this. We're gonna build our elevator from here up to there. So what's important to note about elevator building is we're gonna use pistons for this. Technically, what we could do, if we use a wheeled approach, that would make the elevator more robust, meaning we could add floors later. The only problem with that then, though, is that it's a little bit harder to know when it gets to a floor and stuff like that. We can't just use the like set piston length or anything like that. So we're not gonna do that. And instead we're just gonna use pistons. So let's build up a piston real quick, and let's actually build it over here, because we have a thing over here, a little box that we can use. So let's grab materials for a piston and build that up. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so a piston itself takes up, we'll grab a couple blocks here, 2 blocks of space. And the piston can go 10 meters, which I believe is 4 blocks, but let's make sure real quick. Let's go ahead and reverse and let that do its thing. So it can go an additional, it's got the 1, 2, and then an additional 3, 4, and I think it goes 5, 6. Right? I mean, we haven't changed the speed here, so it's taken a second, but I'm pretty sure it goes that distance right there, which means for every 4 blocks that we want to go up, we're gonna need a piston. Okay, so now that we know that, let's get to work here. So the next step is going to be counting the blocks from the bottom floor to the top floor. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31 blocks to go from the bottom floor to the top floor. 31 is not divisible by 4, but 32 is, and 32 is divisible by 4 with 8. So we're gonna need 8 pistons for this setup, which means we're gonna need to go 2 times 8 blocks down underneath our bottom floor. 2 times 8 is 16, so we need to go 16 blocks down underneath this floor. We're gonna put our piston right here. So put this in there, 2 times 8 down. Let's do this. So let's just go straight down here. 15, 16, there we go. So that's where we need our pistons. So let's put 1 more underneath this, so we can put our pistons on top of that block right there. All right, and finally we can start building up these pistons. So we're gonna need, these are unable to place. I think we're gonna actually need to clear out the entire area, which shouldn't be that hard actually. All right, so that's 1, Unable to place. Why unable to place? Oh, because of this.
Fuel low.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fuel's low. Not an easy way to get up there. Oh shoot, our fuel's low and there's no easy way to get all the way up to the top. Okay, well I guess we're running this way. All right, this is the fun way to get to the base. We go around the outside and climb up the mountain here. This is what happens when you don't pay attention to your fuel. I'm trying to get those pistons placed, but one of them is being really finicky and I don't know why. Okay, let's jump across here and let's go ahead and go to our hydrogen tanks. I like to go to these bottom ones right here because they always work for me until now. Go to this one maybe? Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see if I can place this now. No, it's still being a little finicky. I don't know why. Maybe if I remove that one right there, will that, it's being finicky. Don't know what's the issue. Hey, there we go. We got that one able to place, but this one's not. Okay, you know what? I think it's probably gonna be a little easier if I just go and get the Weevil for this. So let's go and grab the Weevil. I mean, we have the Weevil for a reason, okay? So let's actually use it. Weevil needs a new paint job, I think, but we're gonna not worry about that right now. So charge off, lock off. Let's go down. We can probably go down the elevator since the Weevil is tiny. The tiny little Weevil. Weevil Knievel. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Okay, okay, hang on. It's gonna be a little difficult. We gotta navigate this. I'm not actually pressing down. The Weevil just does not have enough power to hold itself up right now, which is a problem. Oh, okay. No, we're fine. We're fine. As long as I do like a controlled fall, it's okay. Let's turn around here and do the same thing. So I'm gonna hold right click as we do our little controlled fall and let it kind of do its thing as we go down. Okay, and this is fine. We'll put like an actual room down here as well. It'll be like a little maintenance room, but I think it'll work. Okay, so Weevil has finished mining out this entire area here. Perfect. We'll move the Weevil off to the side here. Now let's see if these guys can get their thing. Okay, so can I place another one of these? No, still no. Why not? I'm starting to think it's because of these. It doesn't like these blocks, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can place these now. So there's another one. There is another one, and perhaps one more, I think. Was that the last one that we needed? Let's do a little count. We need 8, so let's make sure that we have 8. We've got the 1 down here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 1 more. Okay, if we need 1 more, we might actually have to go down even lower for this one, because 1 more would put us... Yeah, I think I'll feel safer going down 1 lower. I feel like the Weevil must have stuff on it, doesn't it? Because we're not able to hover. Okay, this should be good for going down 1 lower. I think we've gone down a little further even. Let's go down maybe 2, just to be safe. All right, let's see if this works. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4. Never mind, we don't got 4. Oh, we don't got 4 because it doesn't like these, right? And probably this as well. We got 4. We got 4? We got 4. We got 5. We got 6. We got 7. We got 8. And that is what I'm okay with, because that gives us... Actually, we could even go 9 if we wanted to, couldn't we? Because with the depth we've gone down here. Do we have 8 or is this 7? Did I miscount? This is 8. Interesting. Okay. So with these, we have enough space for another 2 plus another 1. So you know what I could do then? You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put another piston on this thing, because the idea now is that I would like to be able to go to that top section that we haven't built yet, if I want to. And the top section that we haven't built yet is going to become, I believe, a control room. So having this able to go up just that one extra block will be nice. So let's put this there. Boom. And then we can start building our proper elevator. So the way we're gonna build this elevator, how do we want to do this? I could just build it out of steel plate because that should allow it to go up. The old way of doing things would be to use the blast door blocks. And in fact, maybe I will. Problem with the blast door blocks is it's tough to get them in position. I'd really have to do like 1 steel plate block and then the blast door blocks around it. So we do something like this. Steel plate block right there. And then the blast door blocks would be like this. Because unfortunately, I don't think there's an easy way for me to put that in there, right? All right, there we go. That's gonna be the elevator right there, and that should work out just fine for us. It's gonna be a little tricky with this right here. I wish I could have another blast door right here. That would be nice, but I don't think I could fit it right there, unfortunately. All right, one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna run over to each of these and share inertia tensor. So we wanna share inertia tensor for anything. Actually, we can do this with the, we can do this on the mass grid, can't we? So all these oh, well, they're all red, so it's actually really tough to see. Actually, I think this one right here is the one that's connected to the base, right? Yeah, because it's 17 and these ones are all 1. So let's go to all these, share inertia tensor, hope it doesn't blow anything up. And now it should be pretty static here. I still can't place anything there, unfortunately. I guess let's go ahead and build up our first piston so we can actually get it moving a little bit, and then we can work on how we want it to like how we want to like name them and stuff like that. So down here, this is going to be our first piston. I mean, this is our last piston, but we'll build it up first just so we can say velocity up, and hopefully it can actually. I mean, it does go through there. That's not bad. And now I'm still unable to place these. Wonder why? Oh, probably because that's still in the way. Okay, so that's gonna be our elevator right there. And now we just need to go through with the Weevil and actually mine out this area so that it can go all the way up without crashing into anything. I'll tell you what though, I'm a little uneasy about having to have this light armor block on one of the sides. I'm afraid it's gonna kind of clip against one of, like these are fine because it's one block going all the way up, but I'm afraid it's gonna clip against these. So in the worst case, let's see. I mean, okay, in the worst case, we could technically expand the elevator 1 block if we needed to. We can make it a 3x3. It would not be very even. I mean, we could even remove the stairs and do it just like that if we wanted to. Actually, yeah, we could remove the stairs and then redesign where the stairs go, which would kind of be a pain because I do really like where the stairs are right now, but it would be doable. Okay, let's go ahead and free the Weevil here so that we can actually use it again, use it to mine out some of these areas. Now let's get to work. Does the Weevil actually have stuff on it? I feel like it does. Well, actually, it doesn't have that much, so I'm a little surprised that it's so weighed down, but it's fine. Let's right-click mine all this stuff. We need to get a 2x3 area mined out. Oh, by the way, by the time I'm recording this, the new Space Engineers 1 update will be out. Or by the time, not by the time I'm recording this now. I'm actually recording this on Saturday, but by the time this comes out, which will be Tuesday, the Patchworks update will be out, and that is coming out on Monday. So yesterday it came out, unless you're watching this on Monday, in which case today it comes out. And since I release at 11 a.m. usually, well, Mondays, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So I hope it's a good update. I hope you guys enjoy that update. We're gonna probably, I think this episode will be recorded today, so we don't have the Patchworks update in. And then the episode that comes out Friday will probably be recorded also today or tomorrow, which means it probably will also not have the Patchworks update in it. But the episode after that, we will have all the Patchworks update stuff, and we'll be able to mess around with that stuff in this series. Now they're adding some cool stuff like the ability to turn lights, or to like set a light color and stuff like that. Okay, let's go ahead and put the Weevil here for now. We might still need it, so I'm just gonna keep it available, and let's hop on down over here. So we're gonna try this out. We're gonna continue building it. I'm gonna remove these for now. I need to build up a bunch of these pistons. So let's real quick give this a positive velocity. That's actually a little fast for me, but let's right click. We'll get two more built up and see how that does. All right, there's another one. So I'm gonna be very happy just giving this a nice positive velocity of like 0.2, and let's do the same with this one right here. So we need some more stuff, unfortunately. Go ahead and get another one done while we let that go. All right, there's another one. Let's give you another a 0.2 velocity, and same with this one. This one should be done as well. We have all the stuff for it, so I'll give you a 0.2 velocity. Okay, so we're gonna right click, and then same with this one. And we'll get those ones done as well. We're gonna let this keep going, and hopefully it doesn't snag against anything, but it might. So we'll find out as it goes. Well, so far there doesn't seem to be any kerfuffles. These things are going up 0.2. And they haven't stopped yet. So we only have 2 more here. So let's go 1, 2, and then 1, 2 for this. And let's see. Is there a kerfuffle up here? Yes, there is, unfortunately. Okay, so we need to figure out how to resolve this. For now, though, let's build up our pistons, because we're gonna need those regardless. And there we go. Okay, so we now have the elevator fully built up. The only problem, though, is we need to figure out another solution for this, because this right here is blocking up against this. Now, if we could get another blast door block here, that would work out. The only problem is the blast door block that would go there does not have a collision on the bottom piece. So that makes it a little tricky. Let me look at my blocks. Let me actually take a look at my armor blocks or whatever to see if there's potentially one that would work decently here that doesn't have as much of a collision. I don't know, because I think most of these have the full collision. These blocks here are a little special, the blast door blocks, in that they don't have that full collision. I could do a half block, but then this might still collide. Let me see, actually, I'm curious. If I remove all these, okay, now it's actually getting through. But if I remove all these, can it just on its own get through to the top? Let me give these a positive velocity as well. And let's see. Okay, the answer seems to be yes. It does seem to be getting all the... You know what? This is our elevator. This is all we need. This one block is our elevator. But it does seem to be able to get all the way to the top. And actually, it probably will go higher. It'll probably go all the way up there, because we made it big enough to go up there, just in case we want to add that to as another floor. Let's give you a negative velocity now. Okay, so this is as high as our elevator will go if one piston is not maxed. So what can we put here? Well, we have our blast door corners, which I like. Then we have a blast door inverted, which I could potentially make use of. I could do something like that, even though that wouldn't look good. I could do this as well. Like, this would work, technically. Just something like that. Then around here. Like, that probably will work, because that won't brush up against as many blocks. The only problem is it's not great. You know, all the buzzes are actually running around fixing stuff. This ship is no longer on fire, I think, because the buzzes went over here and fixed it. Yeah, they're doing stuff. Nice. Thank you, buzzes. And Zub. Right. So this elevator might be a work in progress for a little bit. What I think we're gonna do, the way I think we're gonna do this is, instead of trying to figure out, like, because there's 2 ways we could do this with these pistons. In order to get to a certain floor, we could say, like, this piston's fully extended, this one's fully extended, that one's fully extended, then those guys are not extended at all. We could do that, and then every floor we, like, figure out how many pistons need to be extended and whatever. But I think the easiest way to do it is to have all the pistons on a group and figure out what number they need for their max extension. We figure out what number they need, and then have them extend to that distance. So in that way, we don't have to worry about the elevator speed. It'll always be the same speed. Right, so what we'll do then is let's go in here, let's grab all of our pistons, which is gonna be all these guys right here. Piston 17. I'm gonna append something to this. This is why I really like block renaming mod, because I can append something to the front of it, and I'm gonna call this main elevator. Let's go ahead and prefix that. So we have main elevator pistons. Okay, there we go. So we've got all of our pistons named. And before we run out of jetpack fuel again, I'm just gonna real quick run over here and replace these with some new ones, because we have like 85 of these that are filled up. Perfect. So let's go back over here. I'm gonna go to my pistons. Let's press K here, go to piston, we'll go to our elevator pistons. And what I wanna do is group these into main elevator pistons. There we go, save that group. And I wanna try setting them. We'll use, I guess, we have a vertical button panel and a button panel pedestal that we can use. I want to use the pedestal. I like the pedestal. There we go. And that will call the elevator. So what I want to do here then is say buttons. So yeah, they have this thing right here where you can now go set and move. Yeah, that's what I want. So I want to set and move them to, let's say set and move to 9. Set velocity, I want velocity to be, I don't know, 0.2 always. Let's try that. So if I set and move them to 9, it looks like 9. Okay, that's a little bizarre, but it's because this one wasn't fully extended. We'll give it a second. All right, and that's at 9 now as well. Okay, so if we set and move to 9, it shows up there. So what we want to do instead is set and move to... We'll set and move to 8.5. Let's see how that does. And we'll do a velocity of 0.5. Okay, 0.5 is too fast. And 8.5 is too low. So let's do 8.8. See, this is going to require a little bit of messing around, but you know, once we get it like configured, once we know what all the floor levels are supposed to be, it should work pretty well. There we go. I think that's perfect. 8.8. Okay, so now wherever the elevator is, we can set it 8.8 and it'll come up here. Okay, so what I want to do as well then is get a button panel on this one here. And I don't know where I'll put it because we have these OSHA compliance things. Who needs OSHA compliance? Maybe we'll put it over here. Okay, 8.0 is perfect for this level. In fact, it could go a little bit lower. We could go 7.9 and that might be perfect. Let's try it actually. I'll do 7.95 at a velocity of 0.2, I think is what we're doing. Okay, there we go. That is perfect right there. So 7.9 at 0.2, and let's see how fast this comes up. I could go a little faster. I could go 0.3. There we go. I'm satisfied with that right there. I think 7.95 at 0.3 is perfect. Okay, I've got these 3 floors set up so far. So this one right here should work. Let me try this one right here. So if I do this one, it comes up pretty quickly, which isn't bad. And then if I go to the next one over here, this one, it should bring it all the way up. And then if I go all the way back down to this floor over here, it should skip that floor and bring it down straight to here at the same speed. And there we are. There's our elevator. It's a little high on this one, so maybe I want to lower it just a little bit. Let's go here, elevator. Luckily, when it's at your floor, it automatically says what the distance is here. So 7.150. I just want 7.12 maybe at 0.3. There we go. I like that a little better. That's a little smoother. All right, now deck 4. This one is a little bit lower, which means we're going to need a little bit lower. So we'll go ahead and put this thing here. I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is going to be 6.5 or maybe even 6.2. Okay, let's see how 6.2 looks. So let's bring it down here. And it should stop. Okay, yeah, so it needs to go a little bit lower. Maybe 6? Maybe 5.8? I don't know. All right, 5.8 puts it... Oh, that's almost perfect, actually. So we want 5.75 maybe. Perfect, 5.75. Okay, next floor is going to be this floor right here. Which is... This isn't our bottom floor, right? We have one more floor after this. Let's try 4. See where that puts us. Too much. Way too much. All right, that's perfect right there. So we now have this going all the way up to the top floor. So if it's down here, let's see how long it would take to get all the way to the top floor here. So if I called this from up here, you know, we're waiting for a little bit. It's coming up. And I don't mind this. If it's all the way down there pretty low, this is fine. So you wait for it and it comes up to the top. Perfect. Okay, so I want to run down and do the bottom one now as well. All the way down here. This is probably going to be like 1 or something. I'll tell you what, it does take a second. It does take a second to get down here. Maybe we can make it faster. I mean, we could always go 0.4. 0.5 seemed a little speedy. We'll test it out. So that's a little too high. Okay, so we need to go a little lower. 0.2. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so 0.2 is what we want on the bottom floor. Okay, so now comes the problem because we don't know what we want to... So the problem that I have now is that we need to somehow, from the elevator, tell it which floor we want to go to. And we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors, and we'll have a 7th once we build the thing that's going to be up there. So we'll have 7 floors that we need to choose from, which means we would need 2 full button panel things, and we don't have the space for those. We could have the space for those if we like built something here that would allow it to, you know, have 2 blocks, but the only problem is for some reason it doesn't allow it to smoothly be there. Yeah, so if I could do something like this would work fine, but the only problem is it you know, it goes against that right there. So this does not work, which is sad because I had thought they had fixed that where it would work now, but I guess not. I guess what I could do, here's an option as well. I would have to change a bunch of my button layouts, but what I could do is throw a piston on this. Because I don't think, you guys can't have a small head, right? Let me see. Attach, add piston head. Yeah, so you guys cannot have a small piston head. Unless maybe it is possible and with some magic of attaching, but what I could do is throw a rotor on here. And the benefit of throwing a rotor on here is now, well, the problem is now the rotor's there, which means it might clash up against that. I want to see if I have that. Is that going to get caught if I try and call the elevator up here? Yes. Yes, it will. Okay, next question. Can I throw a small piston part on a big piston head? If this works, this will be kind of cool. Let's see. If I go ahead and attach. No, maybe not. Okay, am I calling Clang with this technique? Probably. But, might it work? No. Oh shoot, well now there are a bunch of small piston heads in there. That's worrying. Whoops. That might work. Let's see. Let's see if that works by some miracle. I want to bring it up to this level. So let's see if it gets caught on the stairs. So if I do that, we have this piston here, but now we also have this thing right here, which should, if it tries to get caught on the stairs, it should push it out just a little bit more. Let's see how that plays out. No, it does not do the thing. All right, well, I'm gonna have to figure out how to solve this issue. I think we're gonna leave the elevator for now. We have like the setup done where it's like going to each of the floors. The only problem is we need to figure out how to set up the actual cabin part. And doing it on a small grid would be fine, but to do that, we have to be able to transition to a small grid somehow. And the only way I know how to do that would be with a rotor. Now, I could use a hinge. The hinge might not actually. The hinge might work better actually. Hang on. Let me give this a second. So let's remove this. We're gonna attach a medium head to this guy because that's bigger. And then we're also gonna do hinge lock. Okay, so with that, what we could do is build up some sort of, actually, let me build up my hinge. So with that, we can build up some sort of like small grid elevator. It's gonna require a bunch of blocks though. We can build up a small grid elevator, which should work for us. And what's nice about this as well is now we have enough spaces where we could put all of our buttons. So I'd want it to be probably, we can't go like that. So we would need a space there. Yeah, we have no energy. That's maybe a problem. No, it's not actually as much of a problem as we thought because we can hop in this. Now, doing it this way, I will unfortunately have to change up all my distances just a tiny bit, but it shouldn't be too bad because I have I have it all recorded. So I'll just adjust them by a tiny amount. I'll adjust them by the same amount actually, once I figure out what that amount is going to be. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. And what I'm going to do for these sides here is I think I'm going to do something like this. Not that, because that's a little too much, but something like that right there, so that it provides like a nice step, just in case it's needed. Okay, we'll do that there, and we'll do that on this side, and we'll do that on the front side as well. Because these are the only sides that you would really need something like this. All right, and I've assumed this is gonna work because the hinge doesn't seem to be too like jutting out on that side, but let me just test it real quick to make sure before I say it's gonna work. Let's go up. It works, yes. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. You do have to mind the gap though, which is a little worrying, but it'll be okay. So how many floors are we gonna have? We're gonna have, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. We're gonna have our LCDs right there, which are going to point to which floor it's going to go to. Okay, then we're going to have our buttons. And we'll use these button panels. I believe only have one button if you have them on here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we need interior plates. As I'm placing blocks, we got Buzz doing a little bit of welding, which is very nice of them, the Buzzes. All right, yeah, they are welding that. So I think we're fine with that then. Okay, so we have this right here, and I'm going to put something like this on all the edges, which I think is going to be fine. Okay, I'm gonna let Buzz weld the rest of those right there. So I think we have the distance fine right here. So we've just decreased it by 1 for this. So this one right here, let's bring it up. We're gonna decrease what we have here by 1. So we'll go okay. Elevators. Set and move. So we have 7.1120. It's gonna be 020. By 0.3. Perfect. That's a little low, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, so I think the way that we're gonna do our decks and our levels is this. So I got a comment from the Alice Monster 9217 that explained how usually the Navy does their decks and stuff. So when they do a ship, anything that is exposed to the air, so like the top stuff that, you know, you'd look up and you'd see the outside, that's called a level. That's anything that's kind of above, you know, the main level. So what you have is you've got your level 1 / top deck, you've got your level 2, level 3, etc., etc. And then anything that's below that, kind of inside the ship, would be called a deck. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So level 1 is going to be up here, where it's kind of like, you can go outside there, like this is the outside level. And then anything over here that's not really exposed to the air, it's kind of underground, that's gonna be called a deck. So this is deck 2 right here. Above me is level 1 / top deck, so it's the same thing. Down below me is deck 3, 4, 5, etc. And above that would be level 1, 2, 3. So level 1 is up there. This is deck 2. So what I want to do is put these on here. So give me 1 second. I'll put these all on here and we should have a working elevator in just a second. All right, we've got all of our buttons set up, so this should work now. If I say go to level 2, that should bring us all the way up to our top level. We got to be a little careful that we don't accidentally run off the side there, but now we're at our top level. Very good. And if I say let's say bring us to deck 3, bring us all the way down there. Now I could make the speed a little faster. That wouldn't be a bad idea, and maybe we will, but for now at least it's kind of like a leisurely stroll down to here. So let's say bring us to our lowest deck. Let's see where that brings us. No, I wish there were an easy way to make the speed go faster. But we'll have to go through all of these and set their speed back to whatever we want. And there we go. Okay, we're now at the bottom level. So there's our elevator. Just like that, we have a working elevator that can pretty much bring us to any level we want. And we've got a level 3 right there as well. We don't have it set up, but that will be what we're gonna put up there, which is probably gonna be like some sort of control room or something like that. Real quick, just while we're here messing around with things, I wanna go into elevator, and I wanna experiment with a faster speed. So let's go set and move. We'll go 8.7. And let's try 0.5 to see how fast that is. So let's go. Oh, I think I like that a lot better. 0.5, that's way faster. Yeah, that's what we want. What happens if we go 0.8? So 0.5 is pretty quick. 0.8 though will get us there pretty quick as well. I wonder, here, 0.6. Let's do 0.6 for all of these. All right, now we have our elevator. We're out of energy now, but we have our elevator that goes all the way down to the bottom and back up to the top using 0.6 speed. So if I tell it to go to deck 4, for instance, it'll stop us right here. We can hop off and run around. If I want to go back up to the top deck, well, the top deck right now is level 2. That's where all the ships are located. But this will put us here, and if I want to go up one more, I can just go up here. Boom. And it's you know, it's slower than using the stairs for 1 level, but if we need to go down 2 levels, for instance, it's going to be a little faster than using the stairs because it'll just put us right there. So, and then if I need to go to deck 3, you know, it's a little quicker as well. Boom, there we are. All right, I really like this. Top deck, bring me. Man, I really like that we can now set the piston distance and stuff like that. That makes it a lot easier to do things. Now, we did have a little bit of a kerfuffle trying to figure out how to get this elevator set up, but the hinge came to our rescue and made this a lot easier. Now, I do need to run through and set these buttons up again because their distance is wrong, but I'll do that off camera. I think here is probably a good place to end this episode, just with having done the elevator. It was an episode only of doing the elevator. Next episode, we will do all the other stuff that I wanted to do in this episode before the elevator took 2 hours, and we'll work on like the top building over there. We'll repair up the kangaroo, maybe make a Mark II version of the kangaroo. That'd be kind of cool, because we don't really need 2 cockpits, right? We've got the 1 cockpit right there. We could do something else with this space. We don't necessarily need to have a second cockpit right here, and I think that would not be a bad idea, in fact, having something else right here entirely. But yeah, in addition to that, next episode we'll rebuild the Falcon and probably expand on our welding area right here. So all that coming soon in next episode, but that's going to be the end of this one. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Even though it was only one thing, we did the elevator. It did take a long time, and I'm kind of proud of where it is. A lot prouder than I would have been had we stuck with our original design with the blast door blocks. But anyway, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and hit the like button. Put your comments and your suggestions down below in the comments section. If you'd like to subscribe, you'll get notifications for when videos are live and stuff like that. If you'd like to become a YouTube member or a patron, there's links down below in the description where you'll get your name in the end credits. You'll get early access to videos, and you might even get a shout out for some of the higher tiers. So the people we're going to shout out in this episode are Silent Contender, Iron Helix, and WTC 2014. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you everyone who's watching these videos for your support as well. I really do appreciate it. And let me know what you guys think about this elevator in the comments below. With that, I'll see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Survival.